Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Chloe. I am a singer, songwriter, writer and guitarist, and today you can see I'm in a very different setup. This is probably a part of my room that you don't often see, but I kind of want to experiment with different angles. And so as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be doing my yearly review for 2019 because it's over and it went by very quickly and a lot of new things happened, just a lot happened. I don't know what's going on with my hair today, but I was getting sick and tired of seeing my side parting, so I was just like, let's cover it by moving my hair to the other side. Let's get straight into it. So I don't really know where to start. Well, I guess January would be a good start because that's when the year began. So basically, I'm gonna leave my 2018 year review up in the cards. Video up in the cards because there is a lot of relevance to it, and there are also other videos that I will be referring to, so you can either go and watch them before this video starts so you know what I'm on about, or you can just watch this video until the end and then go and check them out. But January. So I entered 2019 with my boyfriend at the time, and I remember spending New Year's Eve at his place, and then I think he came with me and my family to our New Year's Day shopping trip. I can't remember. Actually, yeah, I think he did, because I think we dropped him back home afterwards because his place was on the way to where we were going shopping. So the thing is, him and I actually broke up in January, and I think it was because being in that relationship didn't actually make me happy, so I just felt like there wasn't much point in being with him. And I was a little upset when we decided to end things, so it was a mutual agreement. However, you know, obviously you get that upset feeling because you've spent so much time with that one person. But after that kind of that breaking up scene, I felt so relieved and just so happy, and I felt like I could breathe again. I felt like the relationship was just suffocating me. And then I also mentioned I talked about this whole story in a separate video, and which was my sexual assault and emotional abuse story with Hank. That's kind of what I've used as a placeholder instead of his actual name, because I can't because of privacy reasons, which I completely understand, and I hope you do too. But I will leave that video linked up in the cards. I think it is this side, and it had I think I talked about it in that video. But in January I did finally decide to take the issue to the police, and kind of after reporting it and talking about it, because it was only in January when I realised what had happened to me, and it was kind of clicking into place. I was talking with a friend and they were just you know, that's rape. It was after that conversation that I talked to my personal tutor at college, and then I had to speak to the safeguarding officer that we have at college, and they actually called the police, and it was kind of taken from there. But after actually talking with the police, I decided that I didn't want to take it further, and because of the police, my parents did find out. But I don't really want to go into that because it's that's what happened between me and my parents stays between me and my parents. I've just kind of always been quite private about my personal life. Of all of that, that whole like thought process around what had happened, everything like that, it didn't put me in the best mental state, and I wasn't in a good place, and I just think that it really made me feel down. And then also in January, I don't know if I've ever talked about Emo Guy before, but I've probably mentioned him in my 2018 year review, which will probably be linked in the description as well. Him and I, after breaking up with my boyfriend in January at the time, everything like that, I don't really know what to call him. I don't know what, but after I broke up with that guy in January, me and Emo Guy decided to try again, but it didn't work out. It's just one of those things, like, we obviously weren't meant to be. Was I working on edits of The Definition of Love? I must have been, because that's what I've put down here. Oh, I think I remember why I wrote that down now. It's because I went back on to all of my vlogs and found my January one from last year, which I'll also try and leave a link to in the description. I think I must have been editing The Definition of Love, or trying to anyway. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how that went. It went badly, if you're new to my channel, by the way. And it's no longer called The Definition of Love, but that's not for this video. This is mainly more like personal kind of stuff that happened in my life. I think February was kind of just a weird month for me. Everything was pretty standard. My health was fine, I think, and it was also getting to that time of year that I associated with bad. I don't really know how to describe it. Again, mentioned in my 2018 review, I was in a bad relationship in 2018 February, and then that ended just after a month. Not just after a month, it was just under a month that relationship ended in 2018. So, and then 2018 March I was really depressed. So in 2019 it was getting to that time of year where I just knew, where I thought that things were going to be bad. So because of that, my mental health was a bit wobbly. I need to stop playing with my hair, I'm sorry. I thought everything was going to be bad, and I thought it was going to be the same as 2018, when actually it really wasn't. And that's why you shouldn't be oh, things are going to be shit now, and just things are going to go bad. I don't know, 2018, yes, it was a bad year for me, but 2019 proved that things could be good for me. Because things just, I was kind of expecting from February onwards for things just to get even worse, but actually they got even better, because February the 26th, I actually met my boyfriend Ryan for the first time, and that day, it was a Tuesday, we had our very first interaction. Me and him were in one of the rooms at college, and he was on the piano. There was another friend there. Should I just call him by his actual name? I probably should, yeah. So one of our friends, Sam, was also there, and Ryan was on the piano. I think he was playing Jar of Hearts. By the way, he plays piano and bass. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And he was playing Jar of Hearts and changing the lyrics, and me and Sam were in hysterics. So that was my first interaction with Ryan, my lovely boyfriend. I'm sure he'll be happy to know that I mentioned him in this video. Yes, he makes me very I feel like this is gonna sound really like cheesy, but he makes me very happy. And just thinking back to that moment in February, just, I don't know, for some reason just fills me with joy, and it just makes me so happy. I might cry. Okay, so like, my first impression of him was that he was fucking funny, like, just so funny. And this is gonna sound cheesy again, but that's what attracted me to him in the first place. Things went from there, and then in March we actually like from the 26th of February to like I would say, like, yeah, so let's just say 26th of February to the 14th of March, we were just we were talking we were talking in a friendly manner. The funny thing is that originally I said to him that I didn't like him in that way and just liked him as a friend. But yeah, that's not quite how it turned out. March the 14th, him and I decided to become official. You know, I'm kind of just telling you my story of how me and Ryan got together. But it was a Thursday. He was performing a gig at college, and I decided to stay after college to watch, and it was obviously good. Like, oh my god, he was on the smoke machine, I think, and then I think he might have been playing the bass for his band. It's not even his band. I never know how to, like, word it. It's just, he's a bassist, so he's obviously in a band. He actually admitted to me that day that he liked me, and he tried to tell me before, but I just wasn't having any of it. But it was that day that I knew he was, like, serious about it. And so after that college gig, he actually this is gonna sound like so cheesy. He walked me to the bus stop from college, and we held hands. We held hands for the first time, and we were actually with two other friends. I'm not going to say their names just because I don't want to, but we were with two other friends, like from like the music course, and they obviously saw us holding hands, and we were talking about, like, we were talking whilst we were on the bus, or whilst I was on the bus, as I think. I don't know if he was, but that was the time we decided to become official. And so, because of that, March actually turned out to be a good month. And the funny thing is that it's like a dead straight a month after Valentine's. I don't know if that's some sort of coincidence or not, but I don't know. And then April. Okay, so April was definitely a hard month for me. I can't exactly remember what happened. I think I was just, like, struggling a lot, and I don't really know, but in April, mine and Ryan's relationship was pretty new. What else can I really say about that? It was just like a hard month. My mental health was kind of all over the place, and I was actually like, do I want to talk about this? Yeah, I want to talk about this. I struggled to the point where I had paracetamol on me. Actually, no, I think I actually went into town to Superdrug and I got myself some paracetamol and some pads, because it was my time of the month and I don't think I had anything on me. Or, okay, that's my boyfriend calling me.
You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 10 minutes left.
Okay. What did I get to? So I was talking about like going into town, going to Superdrug, getting the things that I needed, and I went back to college after that, and there's like this little like vocal booth studio type thing within the music department at college. So I sat in there in the dark taking paracetamol and overdosing. It's a pretty serious topic, not something to be really taken lightly, but it happened, and after that I ended up going to the hospital because like even my college tutors were saying just to like go home, but I actually decided to go up to the hospital on a ticket to go up to the hospital, thinking I'd just go there and then go back into town afterwards and then go home, but that didn't happen. I ended up having to stay the night, and my mum had to bring me some spare clothes, and I think, did I have a shower? No, I didn't have a shower at the hospital. I showered when I had gotten home from the hospital, because it was actually a Wednesday, so I had to email my tutor and just be like that, and just tell them that I wouldn't be on the Thursday because like I was in hospital overnight. I stayed in the children's ward because I was 17 at the time. That's kind of like a brief overview of what happened. Okay, so editing me interrupting the video because after I had actually like talked about everything that happened at the hospital, I realised that there wasn't much clarity around the whole situation, so I kind of just wanted to make it clear that throughout the year of 2018, from like I'd say March to like May, June time, like whenever I went on my period, and like whenever I would come off my pills to have my period, I would have really bad like PMS symptoms. I would like feel really down about myself, and I felt very depressed. It made me feel really bad, to the point that I was wanting to that I was having those thoughts of wanting to end my life, but I didn't. Obviously, like, I'm still here. I just want to make it clear that, you know, during that time I had those thoughts, and then I think April, that I was just on about, like being in the hospital, April was the worst, probably the worst month of that, because obviously 2019, it was like a year later after I had those like PMS symptoms, and I think because like I was in a lot of stress, like my college work was stressing me out. I remember just a bunch of things just like accumulating to the point where it did make my like PMS symptoms and my symptoms during my period a lot worse. So I just wanted to make that clear, because otherwise I feel like you wouldn't have understood, but that is what had happened basically. So I definitely think that since that point of being in the hospital and overdosing, I've definitely, like, that point was like the low point, like a valley. So you've got all of like these mountains and everything that was like happening to me, and then that overdose was just a valley for me, and ever since I've just been keeping on going on. Well, at the moment I'm feeling really good, but let's get back to the video because that's not what this video is about. So let's go back to the actual video. Oh, and also like that night I was talking to my boyfriend, because like the thing that did make me really upset in the first place was the fact that, you know, he was saying to me that maybe we should go on a break for a bit, and I just did not like that at all. Obviously, like, it was a very new relationship. He wanted to go on a break, but obviously like we both couldn't really stay away from each other or stop talking to each other, so we just ended up staying together, and there wasn't really a break at all. And I was also talking to his mum as well, because what's happened to my hair? I've really messed it up, haven't I? I was also talking to his mum because apparently, like, obviously, this is what my boyfriend told me. He told me that after he had, like, gotten back, like, to the place where he lives, he didn't actually, like, go home. He decided to go for a walk instead, and apparently his phone died, so I couldn't, like, get in contact with him, which was why I was talking to his mum, and my phone was, like, dying as well, and so I was struggling with my phone battery as well. But, like, after that, like, there was talk about being referred back to CAMS, but I had already been referred to them twice, and neither times did they actually help me. I've actually, like, gotten more support from my good friends and family. But I'm back because I realised that there was something else I didn't really, like, clarify at all. I think when I actually, like, filmed this video, I was just, like, wanting to be very brief because I had a lot of videos to film. However, editing the video now, I realised I didn't really clarify that the night that I was, like, in the hospital, I also, like, got a lot of support from my boyfriend's mum, who is very lovely, and I think the majority of my support that night was from her, so I just wanted to mention that because she was, like, the main support that I had that night. And then, like, after being in the hospital, I was actually receiving support from my ISFA. It's a very hard, like, thing to say, but it basically just stands for, Independent Sexual Violence Advisor, and I was getting support from her. And then in May, I actually continued with that support. I can't actually remember how many times I've actually seen her in the last year, but since then I've, like, decided to stop that support. Like, I'm getting support from the college counsellor at the moment, so but I'll get into that in a little bit. So continued with the ISFA support in May, and then I was still with my boyfriend, like, still am now, but in May it was, like, still very new. However, we both went to see, I don't know how, but they found me with, I think it was 3 other people. There was blue hair guy, singer, because, like, I don't want to give away their actual names because I'm just not about that, but blue hair guy, brunette, let's just call her brunette, curly hair, because, what am I doing? Okay, let's stop. But we went to see, I don't know how, but they found me with them towards the end of May, and for some reason, like, I was just a very, like, anxious person back then. I definitely don't feel like that now, but maybe that's something to do with my pill that I've decided to just stop taking, but that's a whole separate video which is coming up. And so I actually also did a video about that whole, like, experience, like, my first gig, going to see some, like, a band slash, like, duo for the first time ever in my life, and that video will both be linked in the description, and if there's enough space, in the cards as well. All of that, and then I think the rest of the year was all pretty much, like, not much happened. I can't really remember what happened with my B12 deficiency. If you don't know, I'll also link that video down in the description. But then in June, obviously, it was my birthday. I turned 18 on the 25th. That's my birthday. Also in June, I obviously turned 18, but I also finished my level 2 music course at college, and I think between April and June, I think it was actually in May, it must have been, I applied for the level 3 course, and that's what I'm doing now. But I finished college, I finished my level 2 course, and then because like I had finished, like I then went on to work extra shifts at work, even though I only had like an 8-hour contract. I worked more in the summer, and then my boyfriend was actually promoted in June as well to like to have like a supervising role throughout the summer, and he still is like a supervisor, but he's only like part-time because he also has college. So moving into the summer, so July and August, I actually started working 4 days a week because like I could work extra shifts, and I actually enjoyed the amount of money I was making, because obviously because I turned 18 in June, I got a pay rise like the following week after my birthday, because that's kind of like how it works. So I'm now in the 18 to 20 bracket, so when I turn 21 that pay will go up again if I'm still working there. Yeah, so in July it was obviously Camp NaNoWriMo. I'm probably going to be linking those videos in the description as well. But obviously, like I said, I was working more hours, I was getting more money. I was working 4 days a week, and I think I was working like 4 hours for the days that I was working. So 4 times 4, 16 hours I was working a week, and I got pretty good pay. And then at the end of July I actually went on my last family holiday. Yeah, I obviously had to book that off work, so I wasn't working extra that week. August, I got back from my holiday, carried on working 4 days a week, got lots of money, and I was also working really hard on my mental health. Like I was journaling a lot. I felt really good within myself, but then a part of August which devastated me was I got my English GCSE result and I didn't pass. Yet again, I don't know why people just don't get the message to just stop bugging me with it. Like, so then September rolls around and things really ramped up because obviously I started my new college year and I was like really excited about it all. But it all went downhill very, very quickly because there were new people that joined. And because of them, they like obviously don't know how to behave in college, and they were acting like secondary school children, which obviously I think the majority of them came straight from secondary school, but it was so bad. They just made college like living hell. And one of my friends that I was talking about, Sam, he actually ended up, because of the new people misbehaving, the whole music department at lunchtime was locked and closed, so no one could really go in there, like into the rehearsal rooms, not even the classroom, which we were allowed in before, but they just completely ruined it for the people that were already there, so me and like my other friends. Because of the rooms were all locked during the lunch break, even like the doors into like the music department corridor before the actual music department, that was locked off as well. So actually no, I don't think it was, because we only have like a really small canteen in the college, because like everyone is just in one building, because we're having like we're having building work done to the college, so everyone's just squished into one building. But then it is quite a big building, so there's only like one canteen and it's really small. So when there are loads of people in there, I can't actually go in there because it made me really anxious. And so I actually started doubting if I wanted to carry on with college, but I did carry on because like I was enjoying it, and well, now I don't enjoy it, but we'll get to that in a minute. Oh, how do I even like get through this all? But like September I also talked about my emotional abuse story, which again I've already talked about. But I did all that, and then like I said, one of my friends actually left college because of the new people, and I now kind of wish that I had left as well, just because and then in October the rooms were still locked at college in the music department during lunch breaks, so meant hell for me. But like everyone just quickly realised that, oh, we can just sit in the music department corridor and eat, which a lot of people did, and there were some really funny conversations that happened in that very corridor. And then at the end of October we actually, me, my sister, Nan and Grandad went on holiday to Mallorca, and it was so nice there. So there's not much that actually happened in October, and then in November I obviously got back from my holiday. I did NaNoWriMo, I resat my English exam, and it's just not a lot happened, but there was enough happened that I don't really want to talk about it too much, just kind of like talking about it and mentioning it. So the other things that also happened were like my boyfriend's birthday, and then the Christmas light switch on in town as well. And then I think that's pretty much all of this year summed up. And then in December, obviously I finished college for this year, but that's something I don't know. I just know that it's going to be a lot harder now. Like if I want to leave college, like I want the qualification, but I'm just not enjoying it. But overall, it was like a really good year. I'm still with my boyfriend Ryan, things are going really well, and I can't wait to see what 2020 brings at me, basically. And I think that's pretty much all I can really say for this video. But as for now, I'm going to end this video here. 2019 was a good year, but 2020 I want to be even better. That concludes this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe down below and ding the bell to be notified every single time I upload. All of my social media links will be linked in the description, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!